blazing hot because it is Sunday night, and you know what that means. Hello, hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals. It's Sunday night, as I just said. Once again, I am your humble dumble master for the evening, Defarting Tart, and I am joined by my intrepid crew of daring do-gooders. What do we call you guys for tonight? That's what I said, daring do-gooders, but I don't know if y'all want some a new title for what y'all did last time or what.
Justified jailers.
Yes.
I will accept this for now. But yes, it's time. We are joined by, as always, the Punkyard Dog, the CGs, the Joe Mojos, and the J Frost 747s. No River tonight. River had a pre-existing engagement for the evening, and so they will not be joining us tonight, but that is fine. We will make do. I believe it is time for us to roll test rolls. Go! Hey!
What? Jeez!
Christ.
Damn one.
Shouted so much you turned that 19 to a 1.
4.
I've been listening to Yakuza music all day. I'm pumped!
That makes sense.
I think Tar has the most energy so far today. I'm here for it.
Dude, I wish I had the energy. I had to pick up
Right?
work today. Ugh.
Oof.
I
Well,
worked today.
I didn't have to work, but I did get my ass beat thoroughly at the shop today.
I had to work yesterday, and then I celebrated said work with 10 hours of sleep. So,
Fuck, bro, I'm jealous.
it's time. They finds our music.
Music.
Not battle music. That's not what I want.
Nah, round 2, let's go. I'm kidding.
Okay!
He's not that fucking tough without that one motherfucker. I love Powerwolf.
Turn this up ever so slightly.
The touch.
Last time, Exilia Regalia squared off against the treacherous Amadeus Valir. After an exchange of words, an exchange of swords began with the assistance of Amadeus's now ex Chromagard, Aldrich Estes, Faustius the Red, and Hildegard Duskstone. Just as the party seemed to have the upper hand, Amadeus's secret ally was revealed. A hired devil known... I made a typo, hold on. A higher devil bound in a pact to Amadeus known as Dagon, the avatar of Blades. The battle raged on, but as the party persevered, they found themselves within the comfort of victory, as Faustius the Red delivered the final blow, successfully subduing High General Amadeus Valir. Now, we find ourselves immediately following this confrontation, still standing before the mausoleum of one Borton Endemir, one of the kings of Asterios during the Age of Roses. Immediately following initiative, you guys, especially those of you with higher passive perceptions, you guys can hear the sound of many, many footsteps, dozens upon dozens upon dozens approaching your location. It sounds like a march, pretty much, but with purpose. Corey and Flit, Lily would get this too. You guys hear specifically a familiar voice of one Zarek Worldfang who calls out, "Secure the area! No one leaves!" And you hear what sounds to be individual footsteps breaking off from what you determine to be a large group to go one direction and another. You guys, your party, each person in your party gets one action. Much like much as if we were in a form of initiative, you guys have a moment to do whatever you want. Corey, did I hear you slapping cuffs on?
Yes, slapping the cuffs on Amadeus. Or
Okay.
Gideon, whatever the fuck.
You guys...
Asshole.
You are putting on the dimensional handcuffs.
Yes.
Okay. Dimensional shackles. For reference, use an action to place these shackles on an incapacitated creature. He is incapacitated as he is unconscious. The shackles adjust to fit a creature small to large size. In addition to serving as mundane shackles, the shackles prevent a creature bound by them from using any method of extra-dimensional movement, including teleportation or travel to a different plane of existence. They prevent the creature from passing through an interdimensional portal. Once every 30 days, they can make a DC 30 athletics check to try and remove them. We'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah. I know that everyone's kind of hurting, so Flit would use. Honestly, you know what? Never mind. I don't have the slots for it. She's just gonna like casually just raise her hand, like I'm here, but you know.
Diana will, seeing as initiative has ended, will opt to do an 8th level Mass Cure Wounds
Oh, thank you,
to
Diana.
top everyone off.
Bless.
And
No.
Beacon of Hope. Beacon of Hope is up still, and we're out of combat, so it's gonna be max. So let me think. That's what, 68?
3.
Yeah, 68.
6, yeah. Off of yo.
68 plus 10. So 58, I think that is.
Yes,
I am back at full.
I can use that pretty badly.
Yeah.
Corvin would probably follow suit for Flit. He would probably, lack of a better term, holster the guitar and put his hands up and giving an air of acceptance, or like trying to be as non-threatening as he can be.
Okay. What about Ravon? I think Lily will join suit with Flit and Corvin.
Keep it as casual as possible. Sheath Raikiri. Kind of just resting right arm on blade, but trying to also hold up Amadeus after he gets shackled.
Okay. Flit. I'm giving this to you because this is something that you mentioned to me above game that you wanted to do. As your group begins like preparing yourselves for Zarek and what sounds like a horde of men following him, you, out of the corner of your eye, you see that cryptic dagger that Amadeus had beginning to like shuffle on the ground.
Oh no, you don't. Flit is going to run over to the dagger and pick the darn thing up.
I need an athletics check.
Okay. Where are you? 3!
You seeing this off to the side, you realize, oh shit, and you go and you take a dive and you try to grab it, and just as your hand is about to touch it, it zooms away. Not even like across the ground or straight up, like at a 45-degree angle. It out of your grasp and it goes. It is flying. Before you can like even process just how far it's gone, it's already 60 feet away and continuing.
Damn it. Buff game, damn it. In game. The dagger just left.
What?
It just zoomed. It's like it's out there, and points in the direction that it went.
How how far is it, like, in terms of... It's not flying in the air, is it? Like,
No, it's gone. It took off like a rocket. Even in just this moment that Flit told you guys about, it's another 60 feet away and continuing.
Yeah, it's gone.
So, what if...
mm,
Could... I know this is probably going to be a breach, but, like, what if, like, say, Ravon could slap haste on himself and Corbin could cast Fly on Ravon?
I have a scroll of haste.
I know that's probably going to put us in bad standings with the army at the moment, but...
The
Kinda
choice
dealing.
is yours.
I
I
would
can't
not
tell you
mind.
what to do.
I'll go after it.
I'm pretty sure you'll be shot.
I'll take a few hits.
Eh.
Choice is
I
y'all's,
don't
gang.
want.
I don't like it. I'm willing to just chalk it up for a loss.
I'm willing to grab it because if that thing lands into somebody else's hands, that's bad.
Amadeus. Ravon, hold Amadeus. Or he's gonna make a run for it.
Oh, you're gonna make a run for it. What, in the sky?
Did I still have my astral? For 10 minutes, I can.
That's
like-
right. Well, yours is... what did we rule last time? It was 20 feet of your current movement speed.
Hmm.
It would outspeed you.
Yeah, the problem is that it's going a bazillion miles an hour.
If that's
I
the
love it.
case,
Look through my
So,
shit. It was
I'll-
a scroll sanctuary, not haste. Fuck.
I will tell y'all straight up, unless you have a 60-foot move speed, you won't be able to get it.
I come in. Guys, if you don't mind, I can burn, like, fly and go after it.
Well, if it's 60, isn't your movement speed 40?
Yeah. Normal movement speed is 40. If I dash, 60. But if I use fly, that's like 70 feet of movement.
Get
I
the
can
knife.
I'll just hit you with some fly, so that way you can use your action for use your concentration for like something else. I don't mind.
Go, get it.
I need
I
a
will-
decision.
I'll take the flight from Corbin if he wants to, and I'm going to dash after the knife.
What is your movement speed?
Normally it'd be 40. With fly, it would be 70. Due to the Aura of Alacrity. If I dash, it would be 140.
In this moment, putting on all these spells to prep for you to even go another 60 feet. And just as Zarek and what appears to be Theon and a man you don't recognize, who I'll get to in a moment, just as they're beginning to round a corner, Ravon, you take off after this dagger. We'll get to that in
Okay.
a moment.
I have a thing that can
The
wait.
I'm waiting.
It's for. Sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Corbin would like to try to put people at ease as much as he can, just saying something like, "No worries, no worries, fine soldiers. We are trying to apprehend a very malicious artifact that used for, well, lack of a better term, evil. So
Everyone, stand down. Zarek's
Standing down.
voice bellows throughout this courtyard.
I
Ravon,
was gonna do that.
Ravon, do you stop or do you keep going?
Keep going. He's not letting a piece of power like that get away.
You make a roll here real quick. Okay. As you continue on. You hear a call from Theon. Ravon, let it go.
Theon, that dagger is a little bit more dangerous than you think. Need it.
Corvin would pipe up. Let's just say we noticed something very similar from a previous venture, and we're kind of curious to try to research it in case it's very similar or that exact same brand.
Persuasion check, disadvantage, Corvin.
Corey gestures to her stomach. That thing cut me. I'd like to know about it.
Okay. Disadvantage. Persuasion. 26.
Zarek looks between you and Ravon. Go. Retrieve it and come right back.
Can do, sir.
He says, speaking to Ravon, I should say. Sorry.
Understood.
Ravon, as you continue taking off after the dagger, we will get to that in a second. But Zarek turns to the rest of you. I welcome you into this camp with open arms, at Theon's behest, no less. And now, not 12 hours later, I find you assaulting our highest of generals and accusing him of terrible deeds.
It's less accusing and more trying to bring to light actual truth.
Corey raises his
Save
hand.
Save your breath. I've already been made aware of Amadeus' treachery, and I plan to take action against him. For now, though, everyone here is to be detained for the evening. Theon next to him goes, Zarek, surely you can— No! Do you realize the position we are in now? If this gets out, morale falls apart and Cedric's fate is sealed before we can even make a move. If Exilia Regalia has evidence they wish to present to support their accusations, they may present it in the morning, he says,
perfect!
looking to y'all.
That's fair.
I can prove it to you if you just hold my hand.
In the morning.
I volunteer for house arrest.
Sure.
Yep.
Rude butt.
He turns to a few of the men by him. Strip him of all weapons, armor, and supplies. Leave him in a damn loincloth if you have to, but make sure he finds his way into a cell, he says, gesturing at Amadeus. And then- Go ahead.
If you're gonna take stuff, and Foot's gonna point to the brooch, you might want to put that in, like a circle of, like, containment or something. A
Jar of
demon
holy
popped
water?
out of there.
Just gonna make a roll here real quick. Okay. He looks to you. Duly noted. And then he looks to the Chroma Guard. His Chroma Guard may keep their armor, but their weapons and spell components are to be confiscated as well. And Hildegard goes, excuse me? And as she says that, Aldrich kind of puts his hand up to her. We will do everything in our capabilities to make this easier for everyone involved. If surrendering will set your mind at ease, Eric, we will do so. Hildegard goes, Aldrich! Faustius then speaks up. He's right. We're suspects in this as well. Resisting now will only make us look more guilty. Corvin, you had something.
Corvin would like to assist them in mostly making gestures of it's gonna be okay.
Okay. Faustius, by the way, is just standing over Amadeus, and he looks haggard. Not just physically, but emotionally.
I bet.
Hildegard, like, loosens up a little bit. Fine. Zarek looks to the three of them and goes, Aldrich especially, and goes, thank you. You three will be confined to separate quarters until we speak further. I will make sure you're at least comfortable. I appreciate your cooperation. Can I expect the same amount of cooperation from you, Exilia Regalia?
Absolutely.
Once our friend comes back with the weapon in hand, I can surely agree that we will be no fuss, no more this day, or possibly when we leave.
Speaking of, Rovan, you are taking off after this dagger. What is your plan, just for my own reference?
Game plan is basically fly as fast as possible to catch up to it and thoroughly try grabbing said dagger, preferably by handle, yanking it back by force if need be. And we'll even pour in like a channel divinity to.
How many more
Yep.
channel divinities do you have? Because I think you've burned.
Two.
You have. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got 3 shots.
Then make me an athletics check.
Okay. Alright. You want me to bring up the channel divinity right now?
Nah, don't bother.
Okay. Athletics. 30?
You take hold of this dagger, and even with its small size, it's almost like it's being pulled by something. It's going somewhere, and you take hold of it, and even then it's almost like skidding to a stop, but in the air. It takes every bit of might you have just to get this thing to stop, and even as you finally have it in your hand, I need you to make me a wisdom save.
Oh boy. $29.
Cool. I can throw that out. Awesome. As you take hold of this dagger, a series of images. In fact, let me change my music for this.
Uh-oh.
No, that's not what I want. I picked the wrong one. Where is it? There it is. As you take hold of this dagger, as you hold it firmly now within your hands, a series of images flash before your eyes. You see Amadeus. You see this intense fire raging, burning. You see what appears to be a desolate, rocky landscape. Not like a desert. Something deeper, darker. Go ahead and make me... What would this be? Your check of Arcana or Nature.
Ooh, I suck at them both, but... Fuck it, Arcana. 18?
Ooh.
It flashes for just a moment, but you recognize it as the Nine Hells. Another image, this time of what appears to be this giant burning eye, very similar to the Eye of Sauron, that seems to not only be just looking, but it's looking at you, through you, into you. You feel seen in a way that you haven't felt in a long time. It's threatening. You see this brand that is lit on the hilt of the dagger, and you feel this burning begin to take form on the backside of your palm, but you are able to shrug it off with your successful save. A voice rings throughout your head. Another hand lays upon the shard of decimation. And just as it comes, it is gone. And you find yourself now just in the air, not being pulled or anything. This dagger now light in your hand.
Okay. Kind of sweating a bit after seeing all that and going, okay. You are going into a very secure box. And also, I think I need to talk to Theon and get Diana. Yeah, Diana. And Rovan is going to haul ass back to the original site where he took off from his friends.
Okay.
But he is going to make sure to relay all this information when he gets there.
You fly on back, and I can go ahead and change your music back now. You fly on back. Actually, hold on. You fly on back, and you touch down, this dagger in your hands now. And Zarek steps up to you. I take it this dagger is to be quite important then.
Extremely. Also, potentially highly cursed. I just had multiple visions. Just touching this damn thing. One of them was of hell, Amadeus, and he kind of looks to Theon and goes, "A giant burning eye. Something about the new hand touches the shard of decimation."
As you say that name, Theon locks up for a second. Decimation. I told you this. Did you say shard?
Could you repeat that one more time? Sorry, I was trying to get some information.
Theon locks up and goes, Decimation. I told you this.
Yes. Showed me everything. Showed me hell itself. Showed me Amadeus. Big burning eye. And if Rovan can, he would actually like to cast Minor Illusion to show everything that he saw in his mind.
I need to roll a check for him. As you go to cast Minor Illusion, Theon actually lunges forward and takes your hand. Do not show that image. Rovan, I need you to listen to me very carefully, as you currently seem to be a sound mind. Drop the dagger.
Okay. But it might fly off again.
Just drop it.
You did
Reading?
say.
Okay.
I was just gonna say. You did say it's probably highly cursed. I'd listen to Theon.
Understood. And he's just looking at Theon, he's gonna go, okay. Gently lays it on the ground.
I need you to make me a wisdom save.
29.
Rovan, you're hearing him. You are hearing Theon. What he's saying. Theon is a very, not Sirius is not the. He's a very straightforward person. There is a unrecognizable fear in his eyes. And as you go to put it down, you find yourself struggling to do so. You want to, but something is telling you. It's almost like a whisper in your ear. Something is really trying to keep you from putting this dagger down, and eventually, rather than putting it down lightly, you almost drop it, almost throwing it to the ground. And the moment it touches the ground, Theon casts a spell, and you watch as the dagger comes. Two runes appear above and below the dagger before they quickly sandwich together, and the dagger vanishes. Theon, now looking relieved, takes a deep breath. Thank you. I promise I will explain this to you as soon as I can, but now I have my own research to do.
I would like to join you if able, because I am definitely curious about whatever the hell it is that just happened.
Zarek speaks up. None of you will be joining anyone tonight except your own company in the presence of, admittedly, your very nice and, well, taking care of residents here in town.
Thank you.
Theon. Ravon's gonna look to him.
Yes, Rovan.
Promise me you're going to tell me everything. And he kind of looks to where the dagger was. The thing was fighting me to stay in my hand. Is something looking at me now?
Can you also look up what happens to those who are cut by it? Or gestures at her stomach.
I have full understanding of what this weapon does. The only thing I don't understand is why only a piece of it is here. That is where my research lies. As soon as I have that information, I will relay it to you.
Alright. I trust you. Just
Ravon,
don't keep us in the dark.
Rovan, now that the dagger has slipped away from you for a few moments, you feel a trickle of blood leave the depths of your nose and begin to slowly trail down your face.
Oh. Ugh. A nosebleed.
Mere side effect, unfortunately. But I prefer side effects to the real thing. And at this point, the men tending to Amadeus have stripped him fully. He's now in simple clothing. They have set everything off to the side where a couple of the men are beginning to piece through it. Zarek takes another deep breath, and then he calls out to a few of the ones who are kind of standing around. Round up every Praetorian, place them in chains before sunrise. News of this does not get out until I am ready to make a formal announcement. It's around this time that he approaches the still unconscious Amadeus, who is beginning to be shouldered up by two men with the dimensional shackle still on. And he goes up to Amadeus and he takes him by the chin. And then he leans in and begins to speak into Amadeus's ear. I don't know if you can hear me, Amadeus, but if you can, I promise you this. I will make sure you answer for every crime you've committed, even if I must dedicate my life to such a cause. Death is too good for you, and I will make sure you receive no such mercy. And as he sort of takes a step back, he says to the two men carrying him, I want no less than 2 men and 2 orcs watching him at all times. I want a report every hour on the hour. Have a cleric see to only his major wounds. Send for me the moment that he awakens. To which they go, yes, sir. He turns to the other man who's been sort of at his side since he showed up. Commander Zeros, I trust this task in you. Please do not disappoint me. To which this now Commander Zeros, who I have a image of actually.
Oh, holy shit.
Commander
Ooh.
Adriel Zeros. Yes. I won't let you down, sir. I have much to thank on. Keep me updated regularly, otherwise do not disturb me unless there is an emergency. Yes, sir. And then he calls out to a couple of the hunters. Or a couple to the orcs. Hunters! Make sure none of those Praetorians get away. To which one of them goes, "It will be done, Durag." Does anyone here speak Orcish?
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Then anyone who wants to can make a...
Oh wait. Comprehend languages.
It won't matter on I'll allow it. Usually it wouldn't matter on a language that's already been spoken, but I'll allow it.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Here is that word.
I don't know why, but I read that as durag for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Anyone else
Got it.
who wants to, you can make me a history check with disadvantage.
Okay, dokie.
I doubt Cora's gonna get this, but
I don't think we're
16.
I roll because I like rolling.
6.
13.
As do I. 12.
Corey, you won't roll. I'll give you the circlet of comprehend languages for this. Flit, though, you recognize this as Orcish. You speak very minimal Orcish, but Durag translates roughly to brother lord, or in this circumstance, lord of brothers.
Understood.
Corey, you would get this as well with your circlet of comprehend languages. As Zarek begins to... He's sort of marching away, but he's also speaking with a few other men as he goes. And as Amadeus is now being dragged by easily a dozen men to what you guys presume to be a holding cell, Commander Zeros approaches you all. Well, I was hoping to introduce myself to you all on, or might I say, more friendlier terms. But I've heard many tales of Exile Regalia. My name is Adriel, Commander Adriel Zeros. It is good to meet you. As he kind of puts his hand out to shake whoever will take it.
But we'll take it. Likewise. It's honestly kind of a strange thing, though, in a way. You say better circumstances, friendlier circumstances, but now we don't have to worry about, like, traitor stuff going on and be like, oh, is he part of it? So really, really good impression by that token.
Did I say Flit on the language thing just now? I meant Corvin.
It makes more sense. It makes more sense for a Rufflet. Corvin's from the fucking Feywilds, man. He didn't know what an orc was until he
So
came to
is-
fucking.
Hi.
I mean, technically, so is Flit.
Yeah, but she was born in the Primaterial. She fucking
I was a
probably
baby.
interacted with shit. Fucking.
Quiet.
It makes more sense for you.
It doesn't matter. Zeros looks to you all. I am sorry to have to do this to you all, but Zarek is at least granting you the pleasantry of house arrest as opposed to a holding cell. So, at least
No,
find
out of-
comfort in that.
Oh, trust me, out of everything that's going to be happening, I'm at least taking that as a win.
Regardless, I do so apologize. This is just a, and he looks off to where Amadeus is still being pulled. This is quite a serious scenario, and I think everyone is, well, at odds, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
It's-
are we. Yeah.
It's not good for anyone when something like this pops up.
No.
At least you can punish him or interrogate him or whatever the fuck.
Tart again.
Yes,
What was his rank again?
Commander.
Thank you.
I've been instructed to see you to your quarters for the evening, and then at dawn bring you to Zarek, so you may present your evidence to support your case against Amadeus.
Foot's gonna look over to Corey, like, I don't know about you, but I could really use a rest.
Above
I
game,
wanted
it
to
is at this stage, like, it's probably approaching like 11, maybe 12.
Dawn! Exactly!
Yes.
I'm just
Fine!
saying, a night in the hot tub sounds fantastic right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Your quarters has a hot tub.
Well, let's just say I do a little. He does like a little over dramatic like finagling of his arms and hands, and a little bit of this, and then he flicks his wrist, and I can create a little homestead, modest in size, for our comfort.
Ah, magic. Something I have very little understanding of, but all the more power to you, honestly. And there are a couple men there with him. Not enough to where they could even remotely stop you guys,
Mm-hmm.
but enough to put the message across. If you all wouldn't mind coming with me.
Floyd follows along.
Hands behind his back, Corbin follows.
I presume everyone goes along. Some of you maybe begrudgingly looking at Corey.
Or is just grumpy the whole way. She just has a grumpy face.
Hey, it's Grump.
Hey, I'm Grump.
Oh, see,
Zeros.
this is what I thought of.
Zeros escorts you all back to your quarters for the night. You guys do have the manor on the inside, but as he's sort of stopping off with all of you, he goes, "For what it's worth, I appreciate what you all have done. While Amadeus has a extremely high amount of renown and expertise under his belt, I think a number of us, more of our studious ones, knew that something here was awry. We just couldn't quite figure out what. So you have my thanks, at least."
To be fair, it's not like a good chunk of you could have actually done anything about it. Lest you get treated as a traitor yourself. It's like you said, Amadeus has a bunch of more renown than anyone really cares for, and, well, in certain cases, his word is law.
Truth be told, I'm not beyond the suspension of belief that is why you all are here. But regardless, I will make sure that nobody comes in or out throughout the rest of the night, and we shall retrieve you at dawn.
Thank you.
He nods.
Have a good night.
You as well, Exilia Regalia. And you guys are now confined to your quarters under house arrest for the evening. Yeah, Corey, you can if you want to. Like right now or later in the night.
Just later on during the shift.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
She's not trying to get Adriel in trouble.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I guess enough to share.
Yeah,
You know what I
there
mean?
are roughly outside, including Zeros, about 8 men. And they'll be standing guard, most likely in shifts, for the rest of the evening. But
Enough snacks for 8.
yes, you can easily finagle 8 men's worth of drinks and snacks for them. They will be most appreciative.
I do have the good snacks.
That being said, you guys are now confined to the home / mansion for the evening. I presume y'all confer back within the manor.
I imagine so, yeah.
Probably. Or I would like to light a joint, get in a hot tub. She is hurting.
Is falling over an option? I'd like to do that.
Crying is a free
Falling
action.
over is a free action.
Yep.
Hey, Tart, silly question.
Uh-huh.
If, like, Foot does actually fall, like, in, like, the foyer or whatnot, how many of the servants would be needed to lift her up and take her to her room?
Flit, how much do you weigh?
Well, that's a good question, Mega Man.
Because sorry.
130?
Thankfully not the, 300 pounds that's listed here because of the bag of holding, but she probably weighs something like, 140, 150.
I'd say maybe 10 to 15, somewhere in that range.
Okay, because
Wait,
it's what
I'm sorry, what are
What?
your servants again? Because I just instinctually said they're cats.
they're typical like maids and butlers with various
Okay.
descriptions. Like mostly there's very masculine butlers and very feminine ones as well. Same with the maids.
Right. Like 2 max. Sorry, my brain dissolved into Critical Role for a second. I thought of Caleb's manner and I went,
Oh.
"Oh, the servants are cats."
Okay, I was gonna say, Corbin's not a cat person though.
Yeah, like 1, maybe 2. 10
Unless
to
Flet sa-
15.
Unless Flet says something, that's what the servants would probably do.
Yeah, she's pooped.
She's gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Just a week. Thank you.
She gets picked up by a very buff-looking maid who just gets carried out.
As y'all are kind of still making your way in, Diana will kind of speak up. So I know we've had a long day and evening and we're all wanting to rest, but should we talk about what just happened?
Hot tub.
We can talk in the hot tub, that's fine, but I feel like we
Yes.
should have a discussion about
Yeah.
the multitude of things that just happened.
Yeah.
Magical daggers, devils.
Ow.
He mentioned a Tyrannos. I don't even know who that is.
I
I
think.
was wondering that myself.
See, I think Dagon's for the name. He actually stops himself. You know what? I'm not going to say that out loud in lieu of summoning anything to in this plane of existence.
Amadeus is no fool. He would know better than to speak a devil's full actual name in the midst of the prime material.
What happens when you do? I'm sorry. I don't think I've dealt with
Let's-
any.
let's just say when it comes to devils, a name is everything. It's
it summons them?
controlling them, summoning them. It depends on the mana, but let's
Ah.
not take that chance.
Oh.
Above game, traditionally speaking, a devil's full true name, especially like a higher devil, typically that's you have control over them. If you know their name, you can make them your bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
And they really hate it.
Yep.
They sure do.
As I imagine, we all just kind of like pile into the relaxation area.
Yes.
The maid just like casually plop flit, who has not moved onto like a lawn chair, just laid out in the same position.
Like
Or he
she,
wheels in a car. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say she would definitely try to, like a better term, disrobe and clean Flit before like slumping her in the tub.
Fair enough.
As you all kind of begin to make yourselves more at ease, Diana will speak up once more. So, kind of touching on what we were just talking about, that name that Amadeus mentioned, Tyrannos, he spoke of it almost as if it was a god, but I've never heard of a deity going by that name, moniker, title.
Hey, Tart.
Hey,
In researching other planes, would Corvin have stumbled upon anything relating to
No.
like the Hells? Okay.
Oh, related to the Hells?
Yeah.
Yes, possibly, but this is not a name that's familiar to you. Nobody here would have any recollection of this name.
You sure that just isn't another name for Normandy? Isn't he called like the God Tyrant or something? It sounds
Maybe.
similar.
On Tyrannos? I don't know.
Perhaps it's linked to the blade itself. Diana, the term decimation outside of the vernacular definition, does any of that ring a bell to you?
No, I can think of several I can think of the name decimation in several languages, but it wasn't in any of those languages. It was just called decimation. I'm not sure that Tyrannos and decimation are related. But
There's a
I don't
theory, at
know.
least.
Maybe
'Cause-
something to look into.
Possibly, because my current theory is that the shard itself is linked to Tyrannos, if not to Dagon himself. Perhaps one of Dagon's superiors.
If I may make a suggestion, kind of sips on a little like ginger ale.
During Black History Month, let's go.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Listen, I'm just glad you didn't say grape soda.
I just like ginger ale.
Ginger ale is associated with African Americans? Question? What?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm with Punk on this.
Yeah,
Hey!
I'm kinda,
So,
That's new on me.
so I can't confirm nor deny because that's a my wife thing, but it's possible. My wife
Something
loves
for
ginger
later.
ale.
gonna legend lore that later.
Can't legend lore with Joe's wife.
I was gonna legend lore ginger ale, not. Actually, now that I think
In
This
about
is
the-
it,
legend
in
lore and
this-
ginger ale with Joe's
in
wife.
Fana here,
Anyway.
ginger ale is Hingarale.
Hingarale.
Ooh, sounds spicy.
Well, it is ginger ale. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Pour a picture of liquor that
but,
Diana's not allowed to have.
He's
Moving
got-
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ravon's gonna go. If I may be so tact, I believe maybe this is something left for Theon. And he kind of looks to the group and he goes, when I told him everything, and I was about to show him what I saw with, kind of just like waves his hand a little bit, minor illusion magic. He cut me off at the pass immediately. Whatever it is, it's bad. Like, big
Spooky.
bad.
Oh.
I have known Theon a very long time, and I have never seen fear, unadulterated fear, like what he showed out there in that courtyard.
Bingo. And if someone like Theon, who's, let's face it, arguably one of the most powerful magic wielders probably on this planet, and he's ready to, what is the term? Brick shit?
Shitting
No.
a brick.
Yes, that, thank you. Then that's, I think that's a good sign that maybe we should not delve in until we're ready.
Let's. I think I agree with Rovan. Tabling that for now seems like a good idea, especially since Theon seems to have it confined. But are you feeling okay, Rovan?
Yeah, you touched it.
I
You
did.
had a bit of a reaction to it from what it looked like.
Rovan,
Eh.
you feel like you've just come off. You feel like you just underwent and came off of a really bad cold in all of maybe about since you touched the dagger, maybe an hour. You have very minor chills. You feel almost like empty inside to a degree. You feel and you look fine otherwise, but there is something about that dagger has shaken you to your core in a way that you're not quite sure how to comprehend.
I will be honest with you, Flit. I feel physically and like mentally and I think, spiritually I feel fine, but it was. You ever feel like you stare into the abyss and then suddenly you get the gnawing feeling that there's something in the abyss staring back at you?
Yes.
That kind of feeling. I mean, I grabbed that damn thing as it was flying, and it was still pulling. And then when the visions hit, well, it was not pleasant.
I think this is kind of an overall, I don't know, thing that we might have to deal with. Not just what's going on with the dagger, but let's not forget, Skull has a Cerberus from the Hells under his command. And then this shows up with Amadeus in addition to Dagon. There's a lot of fiendish stuff going on.
I mean, when you're in league with, horrible people, you're bound to make even worse company.
It does make me think that that worst company is all over the place right now. We may see a lot more of it sooner rather than later.
Here's my biggest concern. The fact that we are dealing with beings like Normandir, as well as what we all saw in the future. What if there's more than just, one major party at play? When you think about it. Does anyone else know what the rest of the universe looked like? What other planes of existence looked like? In that bad timeline? We saw what Navilis was like.
They told us that the things weren't very good all around. When I asked about Dangraz in the future timeline, they mentioned that Prime had killed the Demon Lords, and there was a power struggle.
And when you throw out a balance like that, the entire universe gets thrown into whack.
Mhm.
So it's
The
possible.
secession of a throne or the taking of a throne in the abyss can take anywhere from hundreds of to thousands of years. So, admittedly, throwing the abyss into chaos from a strategical point of view is almost genius, but horrifying.
And that's just the abyss. What the hell?
Wouldn't that mean Hell would get an advantage over the Abyss and try and move on their territory? Take advantage of the chaos.
Oh, I'd really rather not think about that.
There was.
Politics.
There,
Always hated it.
speaking of hells, there was something I wanted to bring up. So, I think it's safe to say that Dagon was a surprise to everyone here.
Mhm.
And that includes you, Corey. Shouldn't you have learned about his pact with Dagon when you did legend lore on Amadeus?
Flick kind of blinks once or twice and like, that's a really good point.
How? How was that marked away?
Didn't show me anything on it. His ears droop. I don't know.
I don't know if it's some sort of thing like maybe not all information is as easily available as through legend lore as we once thought, or maybe it
Why is
was
it called that?
I don't know. Maybe it's we just need some stronger variation of it, but that I think we can all agree that that was strange.
Well,
Mhm.
I have a thought about that. Remember how, back in the, actually, I'm not sure that we would know about this. Corvin, when you got psychic backlash trying to use sending on Marissa, did we know about that?
So, I, as Joe, do not remember that. Tart has. What was the overall like response when he tried to send a message to Marissa?
It was very similar to like calling a disconnected phone line, just static, but or in a better metaphor, it was similar to that of putting a microphone up to a speaker.
Oh God,
It
I hear it now.
there was kickback to it. It almost as if it was fighting back.
You could say there was feedback, not much. It did give a very nasty migraine.
Well, game, this was a long time ago that this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned that early on, and we learned it well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just wasn't able to go back that far. I apologize.
Fuck you, Marissa.
No, it's
Why
all
are you
good.
apologizing?
Because I'm stupid.
It's okay.
But-
We love
But
No.
did Corvin share that with us?
Yeah.
I can't see any reason why he wouldn't.
I feel like if he didn't, we would notice him and ask him.
I
He
know
probably-
Sarah knows, because she was there.
He probably, even if he held it back the moment Marissa was made as part of the Hellfire Assembly, he would have mentioned it.
Okay. Then Flit will break up. Well, don't forget, the Hellfire Assembly has that thing that stopped Corvin from, talking to Marissa. So maybe they've got something about concealing themselves that extends to legend lore?
with an Augur Lich on the side, I don't doubt that they have some manners of concealing beyond normal magical means.
I will say, like, that might be. We didn't actually try to use legend lore on Oz. We used it on Genie, and that's how we found out. But, uh, this is something that Corey and Diana and we did a little bit before we left. Corey, you used legend lore on Aurelia, right? Oh, right. Corey had to step away.
Yes, I sure did.
uh,
It's me, Reihua Kore, Gabagoo.
Hi, I'm
I don't know-
Corey.
Hi, I'm Kore.
I don't know why,
Oh, let me just.
but I just imagined like Corey like turning into like a puppet for some reason,
Let me grab a.
and just like I don't know why. Please ignore me.
Let me grab a Kore's. Hi, I'm Kore, Gabagoo.
Oh my god.
That joke won't make sense
But-
unless you watch the stream.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
But
What do you think, Haza? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hi, I'm Haas.
Ignore me.
but Flit's gonna say, when we got the information on Aurelia, it gave us all the information on Aurelia before her death, not after her resurrection. And now that we've seen, at the time, it was more important. We got our own bombshell in a way, but it was more important that we figure out what was going on with Nexus. But now that this has happened and this key piece of information is gone again, it makes more sense why there wasn't any information on Aurelia after she came back.
Are you saying that perhaps the information we're asking for is situational?
I think it might, maybe not. I think it might be, but I also think that the Hellfire Assembly might have just like a way to prevent information getting to them, disrupting it somehow.
That certainly would be up their alley.
It's all speculation, but it would make sense.
We talked about doing it once already. Have we wanted to proceed the route of legend loring on Skull? He's affiliated with the Hellfire Assembly, though I'm not sure if he's a direct member, so to speak. We could try that, see what happens, maybe.
I doubt he is a direct member, more affiliated with how they've been treating the Shattered Sun Army.
So you agree then?
They gave him the means to try and take over the Fierce Lands and go to war with Asterios proper via means of the Mask and the Cerberus. You don't get that by stumbling upon it in the sands and plains.
Not to mention, I don't think he was very prevalent in the future. I think we might be able to get the information on Skull with legend lore, but based on our issue with Amadeus and in retrospect Aurelia, that might be maybe we take it with a grain of salt. We could try being more specific.
Corey's ears droop. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's if anything, I think it's more their fault than ours.
Actually, we could use Legend Lore on Skull, and then we can actually put to test if the Hellfire Assembly has anything to do with him in general, because if Legend Lore shows it doesn't, then that does confirm Diana's theory about their means of blocking information or blocking spells in this way. Who knows? Perhaps blocking divination in general.
I think that's smart.
am I hearing that maybe we may be doing a good old cast of Legend Lore?
Legend Lauren in the tub. All right.
I thought she didn't have that until the next day.
She has her 5th level slot.
Ah,
had it.
fair.
That
fair
was
enough.
if I used it. I did not. Actually, only used key points.
That's true. You were very monk focused in that fight.
I was trying to be frugal. I didn't know how long it was gonna go on.
No, that's
Valid.
smart.
Like
Use the
if
mo-
I'd gotten to another round, I was gonna smack heat metal on Amadeus.
Yes.
That would have been fun.
Wanted to. I would have. And blocked me. That bitch. It was just held action. Anyway, yeah, we can legend lore in the tub. How we all hold hands.
sing a little kumbaya.
No, I was above him. It's more just her trying to see if they can see. You know, if they can
Yeah.
see.
Sharing the vision.
Okay, everybody lock pruny hands.
Everybody lock pruny hands. Everyone take your edible now.
I don't get pruny.
Lucky.
Alrighty.
Corey giggles. What's pruny?
Also
hush
true.
You. Hush you.
It's when you eat a lot of prunes.
Can't drown me. Can't dunk me.
I need something. I need good music for this. Give me a moment.
I like to think that Corey walks into the tub, puts her hair down, and walks out of the tub, and now the hair is just down to the back of her
Accidentally-
knees.
Spite Corbin stashes me. I just walk away with the water attached to my hair now. It's mine now.
Corey,
That's fine. That's fine. Snap. It fills back up again.
Corey, you are casting Legend Lore
Yes.
on Skull Worldfang. It has been a long day, admittedly, for you and your friends, an even longer night. You all are tired, but you, persevering through, you conjure up a mixture of magic and ki, every little bit that you can muster. And you begin to project image upon image of the life of Skull Worldfang in the pool that you all sit in. Skull Worldfang, the second child born to Veldrak. Nobody worry about taking notes. I'm going to give this to you all.
Little child.
The second child
Hold it.
born to Veldrak Worldfang. To put simply, a monster of hatred with a thirst for blood. He was gifted his first taste of bloodshed at birth when he tore from his mother's womb. The mercy of his father Veldrak would be the first domino that would lead to the monster he is known as now. He would become the youngest in Worldfang history to complete the Teeth of Kutal Khan, an ancient collection of 7 trials meant for only the strongest of orcs to complete, to be granted the title of Blood Lord by the god Kutal Khan. Skull Worldfang returned from his 3-year pilgrimage of bloodshed and turmoil as Kutal Khan's new herald of blood. He had formulated a plan to conquer the greater empire through blood and conquest. However, when he returned to learn that his father Veldrak and his brother Zarek had begun peace negotiations between the greater tribes of the empire, Skull killed his father in a bout of rage and resentment for what he would call weakness. How dare they seek to align themselves with those weaker than them? Not true orcs, he would call them. Heretics to Kutal Khan's vision. Zarek stood no chance against Skull's new profound might and watched as Skull took any and all who would join him and set out, besting the strongest of the greater clans and slaughtering any who would refuse to join his new clan. Clan Soul Deathrack. Clan Shattered Sun. Little could be done as Skull conquered the plains of the Fierce Lands. The Hellfire Assembly took notice, as they always do. And as goals aligned, their new allegiance would result in the death of Zorn Lord Doramir Stoneheart. Skull will not stop till the Empire falls, and with his allies in the Hellfire Assembly, he is very likely to succeed unless he is stopped. His biggest contribution thus far to the Hellfire Assembly was his final task in the teeth of Kutal Khan, descending into the Nine Hells and defeating the great Cerberus Ogon, tearing it open from the inside with the two artifacts that lay within: the Mask of Baluzar and a Blade of Shards. Decimation. And I'm going to put all of that in lore drops.
Thank you.
You all watch as these images fade, disperse, and you all return to your own reality. All the wiser for it.
Do you think that's how he's seeing?
Oh no.
Oh, this is much worse than I anticipated. Lovely.
Decimation is a sword? A sword of shards? What does that mean? This is Diana.
Does the blade itself break apart, and you can fashion those into whatever weapon that you wish?
It's funny that we talk about this now as... Oh, I thought I had it. Oh, no, I don't have the actual image. I have, for Decimation, the best I have is my reference image for it. How I've perceived it, which I actually need to find now. Talk amongst yourselves while I try to find it.
So,
It's-
go ahead.
It would explain why the dagger or shard of decimation wanted to fly itself back. It was returning to its host.
Why didn't it do that sooner?
Perhaps. Sorry, go ahead.
It wasn't too long after we had knocked out Amadeus. Seconds, even.
Yes, upon defeat, the shard realized it was bested, and to avoid capture, it returned, well, home.
So this is...
Capture or return or recalling.
This is the best reference I can currently give y'all for the sword, which is the Judge Cleric's corrupted sword from Lords of the Fallen. It didn't post. Hold on. This is the best reference I can give y'all for the Blade Decimation.
Oh.
It is a sword composed of these shards, each one similar to what you saw with the Shard of Decimation, the dagger.
Interesting.
Hey, wait a minute. Skull got the sword from within, wait a minute. He got the sword from within. I'm trying to look up the name. Ogon. And if I remember correctly, Ogon was placed there by the Vanihir guard.
The Vanihir gods.
So, I wonder if That's the connection that Theon was making. They were aware of the sword in Ogon, and they have a history of some sort.
It would explain his shock as well as. I mean, Aurelia was a part of the god itself, so she probably tipped off Skull through her minions.
Hmm.
That doesn't explain the eye.
Clarification. Skull retrieved the Mask of Baluzar and Decimation before joining the Hellfire Assembly.
Oh.
That was the last trial in his pilgrimage, which is why the Hellfire Assembly caught on to him, because they were like, oh fuck, we could use this guy, hold on.
So he just. Then how the hell did he get down there? Pun intended.
He walked. There are rifts in the prime material that
Right.
cut into the other planes. Y'all have seen, well, you haven't seen one directly, but you've seen the effects of one in Panoto Wood when you saw the effects of a rift leading to the abyss. So it stands to reason that Skull likely found a rift to enter the Nine Hells somewhere in the Fierce Lands.
So it's kind of like an Orpheus in the underworld door passage kind of.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even
Imagine-
worse.
Imagine a tear that brings two planes together. It is a tear in the fabric that divides them. And so, thus, two of the planes sort of coalesce on these tears. Another great example would be the Animus Sanctum. They have a very, while there isn't a tear necessarily, they have a very, very thin connection between the prime material and the astral plane that allows them to access the astral plane easier.
I assume Devilis' ability to pop in and out of the prime material wouldn't be considered one, right? Because I think that's more like manual than it is like a tear.
Make me an Arcana check, Corvin, with advantage.
Bye. 30.
The fact that it is a city that houses an archfey, it would stand to reason that a tear would make it that much easier for them to, bring their city over from one plane to the other.
Oh, that's cool.
Again, not a tear per se, but a thinly veiled layer.
Gotcha.
Almost like a curtain, if you will. And with enough power, or with enough power, you can easily pierce through these curtains, as opposed to having to find a tear.
I see. So it's kind of like a big river separates the plains. The thinner it is, the easier it is to just cross.
Correct.
And Skull found a place where there just isn't a river.
Just stepped over it like a
Yeah.
chad.
Skull found a dam.
Yeah.
Damn.
I get it. Damn.
Damnation too.
But yes.
That was the joke. Yes. Anyways.
So y'all have a plethora of new information regarding your adversary. Do with that as you will.
I think we should probably think about something for preparing if we get stabbed by that blade, considering what a dagger did.
I got a bigger problem.
Huh?
Amadeus had a shard. Who's
You're
to
wondering
say-
where the rest are.
if Scald has mastery over the normal weapon itself, who else might have shards?
Scary thought. Hopefully Theon will have information on that for us.
I want. Yeah. Still does not explain the eye. Actually, Tart, question. When I heard the voice saying a new hand touches, did that sound orcish, or did it sound...
It was common. Hey, Ravon. Shits and giggles. Religion check.
Oh, this ought to be fun. Religion... I don't know why I... Oh, still at disadvantage. Doesn't matter. 11.
You have no idea. It was very much... This voice very much did speak to you in common, though.
The voice spoke in common. But I don't know if it was, like... the true voice or, like, a disguise.
As
What?
for what we just saw, I am vaguely familiar with the god that was mentioned, Kutal Khan. That it would be the god of blood and traditionally the god of orcs. My knowledge is limited, but I at least know the name, or I have heard at least the mutterings of it.
I guess that would explain why getting Zarek to defeat Skull would be so important, though. It would be a sign from their god that Zarek is the new chosen one, right?
Well, at the very least, he is more powerful than Skull, and that's what they and that is what they followed.
More than that,
what?
that'd be the equivalent of a mortal defeating a demigod.
Ooh.
Hey,
We've done. I mean, looks like points towards Ravon. It's more common than we kind of give it credit for.
I
that
said
was...
defeated.
Yeah.
Reminder, Rovan did not win that fight.
He killed
I
one of them. I'm taking that as a win.
No. Tart's talking about Hyas.
I am talking about Hyas.
I'm
Your
talking about the
group did
giants
fight
ones.
the twin giants, which I will give y'all credit on that one. Rovan, however, then did get his ass beat by Hyas for a while.
I got beat by my god's kid!
Oh wait, I
I got the
can't-
stepdad treatment.
can't remember that one. Was I gone for that one? Because I was about to ask, like,
You might have been gone for that one. That was the one where the buff old monk beat the shit out of Ravon on top of a mountain after y'all's venture into Artesia. He was the guy y'all brought. Y'all turned the quest into.
Your
In
reward,
retros-
an ass whooping.
In retrospect, I'm imagining Hyas taking off his robes like he's fucking Kiryu.
Pretty much. He would definitely do that if he had robes to begin with.
Yeah.
There you go. Hanging out there?
Well, he did have
Wait.
robes. Yeah, he would have taken them off like Kiryu.
Wait a minute. Scald is a herald. Yeah?
By what
I
we
mean-
saw, yeah, I guess so.
Let me look quickly at my notes.
He even names their son Harold.
Wait.
It's an odd name.
is his middle name or something?
Like Jeffrey.
called Herald Worldfang.
All Herald Worldfang.
Isn't Gorman Stormborn a herald too?
And he was, I think.
He's the Maelstrom. He's a herald to Cord.
Or... But if I remember correctly, looking at my notes, he's kind of like worn out because of all that.
Define worn out.
Like, it made him strong, but like, as time passes, like, he's kind of like been... It's a heavy strain on his body.
It's not necessarily. It's a massive responsibility being the herald of a god. Being the herald of a god essentially makes you a demigod, which is a big fucking deal, and with that it obviously has massive implications and responsibilities that if you don't take care of can take a toll on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wasn't sure, because I have, like, in my notes, he's, like, dealing with, like, complications.
He's been around for a long time, yeah.
Okay, so... Alright, so... Skald must be at least doing the work that his god wants him to do. So... he's not slowing down or slacking off.
Wait, we found out who the avatar of the God of War is, right?
No, that was thought to be Amadeus.
This guy?
Yeah, we
Major
thought it was
Skull.
him, but
So, yeah, there was original thinking amongst the Vanahir God that when the gods passed on, they were reincarnated as mortals, and they were pretty convinced that Amadeus was a reincarnation of Ares. Diana is currently in the process of trying to prove and disprove what is fact and what is fiction in terms of the Pantheon.
We have at least confirmation Cord's still kicking.
But the
Highest.
way Amadeus fought, he was powerful. He was definitely not an avatar of a god. Because otherwise, at least one of y'all would probably be dead.
So he's
also
a false.
probably wouldn't have needed a devil to help him out either.
No.
No, he... This
I
feels-
guess- Go ahead.
No, go ahead. My trail of thought collapsed.
I guess this means that Skull is more powerful than we gave him credit for. And I mean, admittedly, we all just kind of heard that he just had a Cerberus and he had the mask. But now that he also has that backing him up,
That's actually a good question. Did he kill the Cerberus? Why is it now... Why does he have it?
Something
Kill-
brought it back.
Killed it in hell as well.
Yeah.
I think we can put together one particular group that's very effective at bringing things back.
I
Maybe,
didn't
but
wanna
once
say
again,
it.
that was before he aligned with the Hellfire Assembly.
That's true.
Then either his god brought it back as a trophy, or he's getting enough help from another being of equal power.
Perhaps,
I'm not.
or even perhaps decimation is more than we are originally being led to believe.
That's actually what I was thinking of. It makes sense. Think about it. Like, we know that the Cerberus has been bigger for some reason. So there's something clearly going on with it. And if the sword was inside the creature, along with the mask, why was it there? I can't say, like, it makes total sense, but it does make sense.
Well, hold on. The Cerberus was planted there by the Vanahir Guard, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And when he killed this thing, it had both the mask and the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it roamed hell and found a shrine where this sword was kept.
If that were the case, then I don't think Theon would have as strong a reaction to it.
I think we're just doing a lot of speculating now without the facts to add it onto any of it.
We could throw these theories at Theon.
Yeah, we have our own problems to deal with in the morning, too.
And now that we know what we know, we need to figure out how Zarek's gonna overcome Skull.
And what we can do to help.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the conversation is winding down to an end. You guys begin to break off from the business talk and begin to relax, and eventually you all go your separate ways before bunking down for a long rest.
Oh, blessed spell slots return.
Want to talk to me? I have to
Um,
pick my stuff for a minute.
Before long rest, Corbin would like to shove 2 casts of silvery barbs back into the ring.
Okay. As you guys futz about with your sheets, I think that's a great place to take a bio break.
Works for me.
Yee.
Thank you all for joining us thus far. We will be back in just a few minutes where our party, our party's having a time. Also, hi, Thero.
Oh, it's
Thero.
Thero?
Hello,
Thero
friend
Fedar.
Thero. Hey, chat.
What's up, mate?
Hey, chat. Have you ever heard of twitch.tv/theropod art? They're really cool
Theropod
and
art?
really talented. You should go drop a follow. Smile.
Yes.
Drop a follow, see the art that is being presented,
Yes.
especially the over 18 stuff. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes. I also did drop a name very familiar, very dinosaur sounding, so it's not a surprise that Theropod showed up in my channel. I just dropped the name Tyrannos. So I should be surprised that Theropod is now in my chat. But
You just say Tyrannos, like Thero just gets like the ping to their head and just go, wait a minute, just runs to their computer.
he sneezed. Wait a fucking second. But we're gonna take a quick bio break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Do not go anywhere. We are back. Gamers, it's time.
We're back at Dinosaur's Tale. And
Hell
yes,
yeah,
I
bro.
did exclusively think of that because I saw Thero's name in chat.
That's a good movie, though.
It is. It was a good part of the childhood.
The night carries on, and eventually, as you guys get your long rest, I have a question for you all. You all know that you're being retrieved at dawn. Do you guys prepare to wake up at dawn, or are you waiting for the very confused attempt at knocking at the magical doorway?
Oh no, Flit would absolutely attempt to wake up at the appropriate time. She's low-key excited about this.
Corvin would probably be the last to show up. Mostly because he just wants his sleep.
Dawn is at 6. Corvin gets up at 6:15.
I mean, I just kind of figured that's how everyone gets up.
Yeah, like he's still put together and like, prestidigitated to where he looks fabulous, but anyone studious enough could just tell, yeah, he's exhausted still.
Yeah. You guys got your long rest, but you did not get a full 8 hours based on the events from the night before. But nevertheless, which the full 8 hours doesn't matter as much to people like Corvin, but even Corvin, you are still feeling the effects of it.
Yeah.
But you guys begin to make your way out, and as you kind of open up the door to your homestead that you had been confined to for the evening, you see Zaros on the outside, who kind of seeing you all begin to exit goes, "Ah, good. I was about to come and retrieve you all. Zarek is asking for you. We should not keep him waiting."
Absolutely. Lead the way.
And Zaros, this time by himself, you do not have an armed envoy accompanying y'all. You are escorted to, rather than Zarek's private quarters, it looks like a church? Zarek is waiting for you inside. I'll make sure that nobody bothers you all.
Thank you. This is going to be something, isn't it?
He's not happy. I'm also pretty convinced that he was up most of the night, so...
I would be a
please-
little.
Go ahead.
I'd be a little shocked if he was happy.
Please just be patient with him. He's trying his best, and this has put him in a very a very rough situation.
We know it's a rough situation, and we are here to help, and that's a good way to help is to not lash out at him. Or take it the wrong way, I guess.
He nods, and then he will go over and he will open the door for y'all to enter. It is a large set of double doors. As you guys kind of begin approaching closer and closer, you guys will see that there is an armed detail outside of this church. Seemingly so that y'all will have your privacy with Zarek.
Mm-hmm.
I presume you all enter.
Yay.
As you all make your way inside, the church in itself, it's very humble in nature. It's not great. It's not grand in any sort. It's homely. You can see that this church has very much been here for probably upwards of several hundred years. That is, as it has definitely seen its fair share of wear and tear. But as you make your way into the communion area, where it is the larger open space, you all see Zarek knelt down on one knee before the altar. His sword has been completely removed from its belt and is at his side. And he seems to be uttering a silent prayer. As you all kind of make your way a bit further in, he seems to hear you all come in as he goes, "My father always resented Kutal Khan. While he was our god, our father saw him as a means to justify bloodshed. I, on the other hand, I've taken the path of trying to worship the Morning Lord as well as Kutal Khan. providing respect that they both deserve as deities, and hoping that, well, one of them will show me the way. The right way. I don't seek bloodshed, I seek peace. Kutel Khan. I only worship Kutel Khan as a means to avoid that bloodshed if I can help it. Insight, if you will. Thank you. I didn't realize I didn't take us off the BRB screen. Heckin' whoops.
Fortunately, it wasn't too long.
Yes.
Hopefully, chat can still hear us.
Yes, they can still hear us. I just didn't have the screen up.
Ah, okay.
But it is at this point that he rises to his feet. And he picks his sword up from the floor and he begins to attach it back to his belt, sheath and all. You'll have to forgive, Theon will not be joining us this morning. Your discovery with the mysterious weapon last night has left him preoccupied. As for you all, as he finally turns to face you all, I hope you know the position you've put me in. Amadeus is... the reason why I am even humoring this testimony is because Theon is a trusted advisor and friend. He speaks well of you all, and he seems to be putting his neck out for you in more than one regard, more than one occasion. His testimony against Amadeus is the only reason why I'm even hearing this out. But I need more than just accusations. But you all seem confident that you have this proof.
I like to think so. We have a fair bit of information, yes.
I'm just unsure how to present mine.
I've
Let's start with how we got clued into Amadeus in the first place. That would probably be the best place to start. So when we were in the camp, when we arrived in the camp, we had just got off of a bit of a fantastical situation, and I'm not going to... While it is true, it is also a bit hard to believe. But the situation that we were in, we can elaborate if you would like, but the important thing is that it gave us some insight into the workings of the Hellfire Assembly, and one of those pieces of insight was Amadeus's treachery. And
But
in
that
that,
sounds really vague.
it is really vague, and like I said, I can provide details, but I'd rather go in for what you're really looking in towards first.
You mentioned this Hellfire Assembly. Theon has mentioned them more than once. It seems that they are allies in Skull's eyes.
Indeed.
Or at least, they share a goal.
We've
Yeah.
had to... Go ahead.
Less goal and more Skull is a means to an end. And Skull, from what we gathered, doesn't really mind that as long as he gets what he wants in the end.
They're basically benefactors to him.
Yes.
That would explain his supply of orcs. We
can go-
knew that the way he was achieving his orcs was by mystical means, but it would stand to
can-
reason that this Hellfire Assembly would have the capabilities of providing such means.
We can go into details at a much later time, but it's a little complicated to explain.
As for our, when we discovered Amadeus in the earlier thing, we found out that he had fiendish energy based on our encounter, and Foot's gonna kind of look on over to Rovan.
Amadeus was radiating fiendish energy. What we now know is that it is thanks to his secondary ally that he kept close to himself, Dagon.
The devil.
Correct.
Yes, I am familiar. As he reaches from his satchel bag and he pulls out that pendant that y'all saw Amadeus wearing. And it. Imagine you pull out a cat from a bathtub. This pendant is radiating a pained aura. It is practically shrieking.
Ugh. Ugh.
Ooh,
Weird. What?
I mean,
Why is it doing that?
Angry.
just from our encounter with Dagon, he seemed like a screamer.
If you all
Nope.
are
Not
familiar
jumping on
with the
that.
term phylactery, this pendant served as a means of housing for the devil known as Dagon. If we had left it in Amadeus's position for the next 24 hours, Dagon would have returned to assist him.
Yeah.
Keeping it in this place is keeping it at bay.
Oh, that's why we're in the church.
Sanctified ground.
That makes a lot of sense.
Smart.
And you watch as he puts it back in his satchel bag. It shall remain here until we find means of destroying it and the devil within.
That's good to know. But that he's not coming back, that would have been really bad.
As far as we're able to tell based on the investigations provided by Theon, Dagon currently is currently bound back to the Nine Hills. It is the pendants being here that prevents him from returning. Think of it as a lock on the gate.
I see.
But I suppose you have more than just devils to present.
We do. After we got in, we had, we were kind of clued in about what was going on with Amadeus, and we split up. When Skull had made his presence known, we noticed that Amadeus had pulled someone aside to send a scouting party after Skull after they left. And Foot's going to turn to Diana.
Two of the three men, one being a Praetorian and the other two being standard troops, were sent out to follow Skal. What they weren't prepared for is that the Praetorian then betrayed them and slaughtered the two men. We then were able to determine that the Praetorian informed Skull as to our arrival here in Vaco. We were able to retrieve the bodies of the 2 men and revive them. We've kept them hidden away, waiting for, well, I suppose this moment. I see. I will ask that at the earliest convenience you retrieve them from me so I may hear their testimonies as well.
Above game. They're still at the mansion, right?
Unless, I didn't hear any of y'all pull them out, so I presume so.
Okay.
Yep.
No, I was just clarifying.
Yeah.
Thankfully we have them housed in the magnificent mansion for now. We can send for them or retrieve them at any point.
I will hear them after this meeting, if that's alright for you. With you?
No worries whatsoever.
While uh, while that team was looking into the patrol, the rest of us had heard a tip that Amadeus goes out to check the walls for security every day, like at a certain time, which meant there was an opening to look around his quarters. The rest of us used it as an opportunity to sneak into his mansion, into his quarters and kind of look for evidence. And we found a couple of interesting items. And Flit is going to look to Corvin.
He will produce the copies of the manifest. I was able to jot these down after getting a look once Captain Timbus here was able to discover them. And he'll hand them over.
You see he begins to kind of eye them, and he flips from page to page. I've seen our records, and I am no fool. I can see that these clearly do not match up with what we currently have in store.
They were in a sealed chest, or a sealed drawer with a trap on it. So, while we were investigating that drawer, I believe our friend Lily also came off of an interesting discovery. It turns out that the ink that Amadeus used to write contained special pigments from her home that she was able to identify, and thus able to identify what Amadeus had written. Combined with not just this, but also I believe Theon would know better than us, but Theon made mention that he had found evidence in his quarters that was planted there by Amadeus. If we were to take a look at it, we should be able to identify and prove that it was written in his hand.
Theon presented me with this evidence this last night before I met with you all. And he will hold out what appears to be a set of routes, a set of like supply routes from Vaco to other allied camps. Lily, upon sniffing them, would find that these were written in that same ink that Amadeus uses. Meaning it could not have been Theon. Unless Theon, by chance, had the same ink, which I'll tell y'all above game, he does not.
There were other small bits. We're we've got one more major piece of evidence, but there is another small bit that we had learned. There was, as you know, as we made mention, we are druids, and one of the things that we can do is communicate with animals. And we decided to have a talk with Amadeus's horse, who
Yvonne.
had mentioned. Hmm.
Yep.
Um, we uh, talked with them, and they were very nice, and they told us about how that he had traveled twice every 2 weeks. He would travel out to meet with someone. They were different each time, but what the horse noticed was that their mounts were not always the same, which is where we came to the conclusion they were different. Among They were horses, there were wolves, there was even a boulette at one point.
Certainly sounds like the traditional mounts that we've been encountering under Skar's thrall. Even we have been taken to the usage of wargs and bullets to get around. The bullet population here in the Fierce Lands is vast. It's no surprise that they would come across them being used as mounts.
And they don't, and obviously Dragonreach doesn't use boulettes or anything, and obviously he wouldn't need to travel out to meet someone if they were in this camp. But the last bit of evidence, and I think it'd be best if, Cora, you could explain this in full.
Um, with my gem, and she gestures to it, and rune delver, I guess, roll, allow me to see through legends and lore and see the truth of a person. And at the very least, I can tell you Amadeus has been lying to you about who he is.
Powerful magics.
It showed me his life as an orphan before he was adopted by the Volahirs. His dad was King Wrexham. His mother was a maid. There's a lot. But he was working with his sibling, another child of Wrexham, Lucian Silverback, and they worked with the Hellfire Assembly to do a lot, but also they killed. I think they framed the death of his dad. A drunken stumble, she puts air quotes.
You see, receiving this information, Zarek almost seems to get lost in thought for a moment. I'll ask that you at a later time give me greater detail as to this information you have discovered.
His name's Damien.
This was.
Zarek will remember that.
Mhm. This is especially important for something that we had found in Amadeus's home. And I don't know if you wanted to continue, Corey, but
I don't think I have anything else.
okay. Corvin, did you want to?
I'm sorry. What's up?
Above game, above game, the letter.
Ah, right. Sorry. I was like, I heard presented the. Never mind. Corbin will unfold the letter, Cedric Rowe, and give it over to Zarek. This was given by King Aragon and outing Amadeus, or Damien, as we've discovered his true name is.
Where did you find this?
Found it crumbled up in a fireplace. Amadeus probably thinking that it was able to be destroyed in that manner, but according to Theon, the paper itself is enchanted to not to be tarnished. As you could see, that is the king's handwriting.
That I can. Do you mind if I keep this?
Of course.
He will fold the letter up and put it in his bag. Speaking of the great high generals, and you see he almost like rolls his eyes. Speaking of his quarters, a thorough investigation over the course of the night revealed that one of Master Falconer Queric's birds had been caged up inside his living quarters. Upon speaking with Master Queric, he had informed you all that one of his birds had been missing. I presume
Yes.
you know something about this.
The owl.
Correct. Sylvester.
Good bird.
Cute name.
We can probably get some testimony from him, and just kind of waves in Druid.
Points.
I've already had one of my shamans speak with the bird.
Oh.
The bird claims that it was sent from King Aragon to Amadeus, which upon arriving, Amadeus caged him. With the intention of disposing him at the right time.
Oh, I see. Love Game, I think that's all the evidence that we had.
Corey frowns,
I believe so.
but nods.
Uh,
Owls don't taste very good.
Above game, I don't think he was gonna eat him, but okay.
I think he was just gonna murk the bird.
Like,
Could do either. He's also a bastard. He might have taken sick joy in eating him.
No, you know what? Amadeus wouldn't have, but I bet Dagon absolutely would have.
Oh, absolutely.
Dagon. Tastes like chicken.
I wonder if he would have wisened up to the idea.
Boo!
It's more oily,
I like
gamey
that.
chicken, but yeah, okay.
More
Uh.
importantly, upon going over the belongings on Amadeus, there was an empty chest in the same quarters that we believe he retrieved before attempting to escape from Vaco. These materials included diamonds, money, powerful potions, arrows that we retrieved at the scene, some of which I believe had been used on you all. Likely this dagger that is now in Theon's possession.
That was used on me. And
That thing's
a bunch of
dangerous.
us.
Mhm.
Lily and oh fuck, who else?
The Chroma Guard.
Yeah.
More so, I found a number of things that don't quite make sense to me yet. And he holds out a sending stone. I understand that this is a sending stone, however, who this belongs to is beyond me.
Possibly Lucian, since that seems to be his closest contact amongst the assembly.
That would likely be my guess with what you've informed me. More than that, there was this. And he holds out a vial of what looks to be like blood.
Ew.
Can I roll an insight on that?
Arcana. Anyone who wants to.
Cool.
Okay. Arcana.
15?
24.
3.
That's a 5.
Corey and Corvin. This is Oz's blood.
That fucker.
That mother.
This is hellfire poison.
We know that person.
Corvin immediately grimaces. That's nasty, vile, ingrate.
Minor illusion, please.
That right there is hellfire poison. Pretty much damn near uncurable if you don't have anyone powerful enough to rid it from someone's system. And from the state of things, not to dissuade your current physician, but I don't know if he would be able to.
It comes from a member of the Hellfire Assembly named Oz, who has been cursed, in a way, with this blood in their veins. It hurts them constantly, but it's also a very potent poison.
You see, he gestures. He kind of looks over the vial once again. Then I'd say, on top of everything else, you have a pretty damning piece of evidence. You know, part of me was hoping that this was just some sort of bad dream and a misunderstanding, but it seems that I can't escape the fact that Amadeus really has betrayed us. Thank you, Xyla Regalia. I know what I must do next.
Hey, Tart.
Yes.
I forgot to tell him that they also killed Zornlord Dormir Stoneheart.
Skull did that.
Skull did that. Sorry, thank you. Sorry, from the thing it looked like.
Above game, he already knew.
Yeah.
Eh.
Float's just gonna say, is there anything we can do to help?
Right now, what I need more than anything is I need people in the field, which was our original plan, making way for invasion. There are a number of objectives that I would like to have a team that I can trust to perform. And you all have, despite the circumstances, you have more than proven yourself. Upon looking into Endemir's tomb, we found that there was in fact a secret way in and out of Vaco. Our presumption is that Amadeus was looking to leave, and likely informed Skull as to whatever our next step was.
Oh, that's why he fled there. That was also admittedly our fault. We may have triggered a trap and accelerated all this. Oops.
Let's not say it like that, Fritz. We just put ourselves in a situation to where he had to accelerate his plans, and that was ultimately his downfall.
Yeah, sure.
May I ask you all for a bit of advisement?
Sure.
I look to, at least for the temporary moment, replace Amadeus with the combined efforts of Theon and Commander Zeros. But, with that, I ask you, Amadeus is Chromagon. From our current investigation, it seems that they truly are unawares as to the intention of Amadeus, or at least two of them are. The moment we started speaking with Hildegard Duskstone, she seemed to come forth with much of the information that you all have provided me now. Seems that she had been onto this case for some time, actually. So I ask you, can the three of them be trusted?
I advise counsel for Faustius, seeing as that he had more personal connection to Amadeus, but I can honestly trust them.
Considering they fought alongside us against Amadeus, Faustius had a rage against his father for the tragedy, as well as Albrecht. Hildegard, I'm not too versed in, but she was willing to aid us, as far as I'm concerned. They are trustable.
He kind of nods. I currently stand in the same position as you, but I wanted a second opinion. So, your insight is valuable. I thank you. They will be released and they will be assisting Theon and Commander Zeros in Amadeus' place. I need as many trusting hands as I can, considering the formal announcement I'm going to have to make regarding Amadeus. But,
See,
God,
speaking of which, what is your verdict?
if it were up to me, I'd hang him by his entrails and skin him, as is the traditional way of my clan in dealing with treachery. But
Mhm.
it is not up to me. Ultimately, it is up to the man that he betrayed, Cedric Aragon. That man we still need to rescue.
That we do.
Which, God,
Though I do have a lot of hesitation about leaving Amadeus alive, or at least conscious.
Unbeaten.
It's just, I worry that if we leave him to, even in a cell, that would still be enough opportunity for him to leave, as well as, well, try to get people back on his side.
my
could
current
ice-
plan is to have the Chroma Guard watching over him as necessary. His connection to Dagon has been restricted by keeping the pendant here, and those dimensional shackles you provided have been quite valuable.
You're welcome.
He nods.
Flit has a appreciative grin, thinking back to the encounter that they had with Amadeus and the Dark Teacher. Ah, karma. Wait, does it count as karma if he didn't actually do it?
He was going to.
He
Kind
was
of
going to.
counts.
Multiversal karma.
It was preemptive karma. Y'all ever
Yeah.
He
see,
struck
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
y'all ever see that one episode of Futurama
Yeah.
predicting the crimes before they happen?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that, okay, I was gonna say, you're going to have to be more specific there, man.
Which one? There's a
Thought
bunch.
crimes.
Okay, but yeah, I've seen that.
But that is what I need from you all now, is that I have a collection of objectives that I wish to present you all with. You can either accept them, as many as you wish, to complete over the course of the next week while we prepare, or if you wish, to stay here and help us prepare for invasion. Completing these objectives will obviously make the invasion easier, but it will mean putting Cedric at greater risk before we can properly complete our invasion. If you assist us, obviously the invasion will be committed at a accelerated time frame, but it will mean that we will have a greater amount of adversity in performing the actual invasion. I will leave the decision to you, but I wish to at least go over these objectives with you, if that is at all possible.
Of course.
Fair enough.
Give us the options.
An above game. Should I be writing these down?
I'm gonna give them to y'all.
Okay.
Thank you.
So don't worry about it. Feel free to just listen. I'm going to give them to you all, and more specifically, I'm going to give you all Actually, I was going to tell you all what they did upon completion. No, I'm gonna inform you guys what they do when you complete them and how it assists your invasion.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
So you said these are other commanders?
They are objectives.
Oh, objectives. I am so sorry. My kid just got home.
So I'm going to give you all. I'm going to. Hold on, I need to actually change something.
Do some take more time than others?
So the current way I have this, each mission takes a day. So you guys will have an upwards max of 7 missions you can complete before the invasion begins.
Or before it starts putting Cedric at risk if we put it off?
Each day that passes puts Cedric at greater risk. What that risk involves, I cannot tell you.
Fair enough.
But know that Cedric's condition will decline and be subjected to greater risk the longer you guys put off the invasion.
Got it. We're fighting the clock.
It is you guys weighing risk and reward. We're going to have this discussion above game. I'm not going to do this as Zarek, but Zarek would go into great detail with you all over this. So, if you guys are ready.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Your first objective is to defeat Zugar the Driver. Doing so will obviously remove a general from under Skull's command, and it will unlock a new mission. That mission will be to halt the mining operation.
Ooh.
If you guys halt the mining operation after defeating Zugar, which will take another day, you guys will gain more able-bodied allies from inside Zorn, meaning you guys will gain allies in encounters. Your second one is to defeat Bavor the Golden. Doing this will remove a general from under Skull's command, and will unlock the Sabotage Arms Factory mission.
Ooh.
Oh, banana.
If you sabotage the arms factory, it will provide random debuffs to Skull's forces as you encounter them. That is, again, another mission that unlocks after you guys defeat Bavor. So that is currently 4 missions. There's the Sabotage Siege Weaponry objective. If you guys sabotage the siege weaponry, it will deactivate and remove the siege weapon layer actions. There is Sabotage the Bestiary. If you guys sabotage the Bestiary, it will revoke mounted fighters and beasts from Skull's control.
Druid leans forward in his Gendo Akari posing at this.
Go be free.
Yes.
The next one is sabotaging the gene pool.
Fight!
Sorry.
For it's your time to shine!
Please go ahead.
If you guys sabotage the gene pool, it will disable reinforcements during any and all encounters. And then the last one, and arguably one of the most important, is to discover the trap. You guys know that there has to be a trap. You've been
That's
pretty
tr-
much told as much.
That's true.
Discovering the trap will allow you to learn and potentially sabotage it. Until you learn what it is, that's all the information I can give you.
Understood.
So let me put this in. I'll put this in. Not lore drops. I'll put this in game. Give me 1 second. I just had to do some quick adjusting to this. And need to move those. This will just take me a hot sec, so talk amongst yourselves.
No worries.
Whew.
And you guys,
There's a lot of stuff to do.
yes, you
Yeah.
guys, don't worry about deciding these now. You guys will be able to talk about this above game in between sessions.
Ah, excellent.
Got it. Goddamn.
And you wanted to plan Siege ahead of time.
Yes, this is why I told y'all to not bother planning your siege ahead of time. So, I'm almost done here. There you go. In-game. You've got your objectives that you can complete at any time, and then you have your objectives that require prerequisites to complete. So there are currently in total 8 missions you can complete. You obviously cannot complete all of them as there are only 7 days.
Fair enough.
And this is day 2, right?
This is going to be day 1. You guys landing yesterday was day 0. This is day 1.
So we have
I'm-
only 6 days left then.
Okay. I am also now glad that we took care of Amadeus immediately.
The invasion
yeah.
will commence on day 7.
Okay.
Okay, so
And this
because
is
it's
day
2
1.
days, we've got- Okay, so we actually have 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
You will not to be able to complete an objective on day 7 as that is when the invasion commences.
Yeah, and two of these objectives looks like they're going to take a couple of days, especially with the prereqs.
Each objective will take 1 day to complete. The ones with prerequisites will obviously be set 2 days because you
Yeah.
had to complete a mission to be able to do that one.
Whew. There's a lot to think about.
Yes.
Because like immediately I'm thinking, okay, the gene pool probably, the bestiary as well as the siege weaponry, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking leave the siege weaponry and do the others.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the bestiary option mostly just because, like, it removes mounted riders as well as.
Maybe not the gene pool and instead get the trap.
I have a
Leave the
question
siege
before.
weaponry and the gene pool. That's just for free cursory. We can obviously talk about it more.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys do not have to decide at
Yeah.
this moment.
Yes.
I've got a couple ideas.
What's your question, CG?
So you mentioned earlier that this is the option for like missions to take. I think you also mentioned that there are like there's other stuff that we can do around here to help? At least
So, if you guys decide to forego the rest of your available time and dedicate your time to prepping the invasion time will get cut in half of the remaining days. So, if you guys decide we're not going to take on any of these missions and launch the invasion, your timeline will shrink from 7 days to 3.5, rounded down to 3.
okay, and that's when we're going to do like prep and plan.
That will be your chance for you guys to prep, plan, and provide assistance and buffs to any of the forces that you see appropriate to.
Gotcha.
That will be your ability to help around here rather than sabotaging. But
Gotcha.
note
So-
that if you decide to stay here and do that task, you cannot go back. You cannot then go and sabotage.
Okay.
If you guys decide to stay in Vaco, that is it.
Understood.
Guys ever play Sly Cooper?
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
Yep.
Sadly, no.
I've seen gameplay.
Never mind then.
Are we talking Thievius Raccoonus 2?
Yes?
Got it.
But, unless y'all have any more questions for me at the moment.
At the moment, I don't think so.
So with this will be your guys' opportunity to weigh whether you go for an easier invasion or if you expiate your timeline and lessen Cedric's potential injuries and risk.
Question, actually.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible to get aid from anyone in the camp during these missions?
No.
Got it. We're that stretched.
This will be up to y'all and y'all alone, sort of alone.
We're the commandos, baby.
Y'all, yes. Y'all know that there is an inside man, though. Based on what Theon
We
said.
get that fucker, by the way?
Who?
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
Not us.
We don't.
Someone said earlier, don't let any of the Praetorians escape.
I don't know. Y'all
We're
haven't
done here.
asked.
Can we go check?
Y'all haven't asked.
When we're
Oh, I think that's an opportunity to ask
Alright.
right now.
Cora just like slams her hand on the table and then raises her hand.
There's no table. You're in a church.
Slam. What? In a
Leave
church,
the-
she slams her hand on a pew.
Very disrespectful to the gods, but proceed.
The wood groans with the effort.
Ow.
Zark,
Yes.
did they round up all the Praetorians? The inside man was one of them.
Above game, we're talking about 2 inside mans. All the Praetorians were
One of them.
inside men, quote unquote.
What?
Yeah,
Hmm.
we were
'Cause
talking about the inside man that's in fucking Zorn.
Zarek has an inside man. Zarek, Theon, Cedric, whoever you want to address, has an inside man in Zorn, leading what Theon described to y'all as a quote unquote resistance.
Hmm.
And he told y'all that when you go to Zorn, he kind of laid out some of these missions for y'all already before y'all even came to Vaco. He basically told y'all that when you go and you start causing a fuss, he would come and find y'all and help you. So the inside man, as far as y'all are concerned at this moment, is your ally.
Hmm. Did they get all the Praetorians though?
Yes, we were able to round up all of them. A few of them came with, well, a bit of a fuss, but we were able to round them up without much, well, fuss.
Mm.
Oh, we had heard that, speaking of inside men, we had heard that there was one in Zorn for us.
Yes, when you begin to take on these missions, should you choose to accept them, this inside man will quickly become wary as to your, well, your movement inside of the city, and will seek you out to assist you.
I see. What? How do we identify them? Will they just meet us?
They will be the one person not trying to kill you.
Well, I mean, they could be with a whole bunch of other guys not trying to kill us and not get an opportunity.
If someone is there and they are not trying to kill you, you can presume they are with the resistance.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that is as little as I can provide, as I am not even fully aware as to who the inside man is. Only that
I
they
see.
share our goal.
This is a little, I guess this is a little off topic, but something's been bugging me, and I'm not sure I want to know it, but I feel I need to ask. What was in the bag?
Zara kind of takes a deep breath. The bag that Skull left for us yesterday was... It contained the head of one of the men that had been captured alongside Cedric.
Oh. That's a bit grisly.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Well, that might not be useful in any way. Never mind.
Reincarnate!
Reincarnate!
I mean, I
Reincarnate!
could.
Bring him back!
I was going to say, more aptly, speak with dead.
It is unfortunate, but it is something that we expected.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Presumably, we'll be receiving more heads as the week goes on. It means
Ugh.
of demoralizing us.
Bag. It's a man. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to add. You really don't have any information on Davor the Golden?
Unfortunately, no. The few that we have sent to stop him out in the field have... well, they've been very unsuccessful. The only thing I can provide is that he seems to fight with immense incendiary weapons, as we often find scorch marks at those spots, at
I see.
those locations where they have fought. Unfortunately, that is all I can provide.
That's still important info.
Hi, Nug.
What kind of beasts are we looking into?
The bestiary contains a number of dangerous creatures. Like I've mentioned before, there will be bullets, wargs, likely dire wolves as well, alongside the wargs.
I see.
You're likely to find perhaps an occasional wyvern. They've been milking wyverns for their poison to use during fights.
Ooh, that's nasty in multiple
Quite.
ways.
There's also a supply of giant bats here in a wide population of giant bats here in the Fierce Lands. They likely have access to those as well. I say likely, above game, and they would have them.
Gotcha.
There's no likely about it, they do.
Okay. Think that's it for questions from me. Anyone else got any ideas?
Not particularly from Corvin. You could definitely see that his head is a spinning with possibilities.
Do have one question for Zarek.
Mm-hmm.
Would he have at least been advised to check everything within camp to make sure nothing was sabotaged all's well?
What do you
Like
mean advise? He's the one advising them. Yes,
Oh.
absolutely.
Okay, I didn't know. You know, like he may have been like, "I'm tired. I'm going to bed." Well,
Why do you think he
somebody
was out
remind me
most
in
of
the
the
morning.
night?
yeah.
Bit of a lesser question, more just kind of a DM question at this point. But
Uh-huh. If y'all have
Could be
questions,
any-
give to me as well.
do there happen to be any like forests nearby Vaco? Or at least
Forests,
a
no,
supply of
there's not.
trees.
There is not a lot of forests, in the Fierce Lands, as it's mainly plains, savanna. Coming across like proper like surplus of foliage, you would need to go further north, towards the coast and towards the Corn Mountains.
Gotcha.
Corn.
Not prepare tree stride then. Got it. Thank you.
Should never
Yes.
prepare True Strike. It's not good.
No, tree stride, not true
Oh, tree
strike.
I am so
Tree
sorry. That
stride.
is.
Yeah, I was
that
like,
is
wait
my
a
bad.
minute. What?
That is
How's
my
that
bad.
not good?
I am so sorry. That is my Freudian slip of the day.
True strike.
Chocolate.
That's
Listen,
nothing.
that in Champion Fighter triggers me.
Understandable. But
Note to
I
self:
imagine Champion Fighter
make
more
a
than True
champion fighter with true strike.
I will fucking hunt you down for sports and reclaim your dog as my wife's.
I imagine that Champion triggers you more than True Strike because you can never trigger True Strike.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough dumping on things that absolutely deserve it. So, do any of these require like special? We're doing mostly infiltration, correct? Like, how do we get there?
Would you like to ask in-game?
Yes. So most of these are sabotage options. How do we get to where we need to do the sabotage?
Well, most of these objectives will be taking place within the Undercroft zone. Theon was mentioning to me of a way of getting a small force into zone undetected.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We'll be speaking with him a bit later on whenever he reemerges.
I did want to ask about if there was like anything like he knew that was like magical about the place and stuff like that. Okay. We'll talk to Theon about that a little bit then.
Above game, any other questions for Zarek? Or me? It doesn't even have to be related to the game. You could just be like, how was your day, Tart? And I'd be like, it was fine, fellow citizen.
Have you hugged Nugget today?
I sure have.
Good.
Better question. Did Hug It Nug you back? Hug It?
Hug
Hug
it.
it.
Hug it!
Hug it.
Did Hug
Okay,
it nug you
so-
back?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
so
sure did.
Tar, merch idea for you. A like life-sized version of Nugget as like a plushie, but we just call it Hug It.
Hug It Me Nugget.
Yes.
There's gonna be the what the nugget Kirigumi is called. The Hug It. Not the Kirigumi. What's the fuck? The body pillow?
Kigurumi.
Kikurumi.
Oh, no.
That's it.
The body pill is Dakimura.
Dakimura.
think.
That's it.
Would it be Doggy Mora in this case?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Just fucking raking in cash.
I'm trademarking this right now as we
Infinite
speak.
wealth.
Good. Good,
Infinite
good.
woof.
That did
Even
just
better.
come out.
It sure did. I've been loving it. Anyways,
Back in game.
if y'all don't have anything else, there is a pounding at the door to the church. Do, 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 do. Enter. And Zaros opens the door. Lord Zarek, he's awake. And with the news of Amadeus Valir awakening, I believe that is the best place we'll get to call for a stop for tonight. Wrap up a little early because I don't want to stop the interrogation halfway because I know y'all are gonna have a lot of shit to say about / to him.
Trust me,
Yep.
my head is fucking spinning.
I promise not to use my astral arms when hitting him.
Hey Punk, you're not gonna be here next week.
I want to do it!
Can we like
Listen.
forget?
Just
I demand CG. Who do I trust to do this right?
not CG. Do not give it to CG.
You can trust me to do it right. Not even a joke. Not
Corey,
even a fucking joke.
Fucking Punk just like slaps the Rolodex of people in call going, okay, who do I trust for this thing?
I do appreciate,
Punch
by
him
the way.
every 3 questions.
Every 3. Got it.
In the jaw.
Has to be 3.
In the jaw.
Yeah.
And
I
then
will-
after the last question, stomp him in the nuts.
Stop him in the nuts. Stop
Give
him
him
in
the
the
old dick
nuts.
I will-
twist.
I will say, just to write up aside, I'm touched that Punk thought of me first.
Let's be honest, CG. No offense to anyone else here, but you're the most trustworthy of the group.
Yeah.
None taken. That's the most untrustworthy person here.
The only person I would say who also lives up to that role is maybe the River.
Yeah.
River's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But-
he is.
Pretty fucking great.
Thank you
Yeah.
all so much for joining us tonight. Our party has a lot to think about. We may spend the last little bit of our session with y'all talking above game about your plans for your missions, but that will be up to y'all if y'all want to pursue that route. But that's going to be the end of our stream for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Let's go ahead and send it on around the table. Let's start. I think I started with Punk last week. So we'll start with the CG.
Hello, I am the CG. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me on various Good Beans D&D channels such as twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. We do a Saved by the Spell Strixhaven campaign. Excuse me. We will be meeting this upcoming Sunday, so tune into that as we navigate our way back to our school after a rather harrowing field trip. You can also find me on this channel every other Tuesday for Rascals and Ravnica, our Ravnica campaign, in which I am a goblin wizard and the only person who has even remotely an inkling of the shit that we got hired to do recently. Nothing against, I mean, in game, not above game. But that is it for me. I pass it over to someone who is in both of those games, Frost.
Hello. Twitch, Twitter, JFrost747. Find me every other Sunday here for our lovely campaign, War of the Shattered Sun. Tuesday for Rascals Knows Ravnica, as
Let's go.
CG has said. Get to play my favorite idiot tool.
Wow, fuck
And-
Rovan, I guess.
No, there's levels to idiots
There
in
is,
this.
yeah, I said idiot
Ron's
tool.
himbo.
Yeah.
He's
Not
idiot
not-
tool.
I agree to disagree, but continue.
I am a tool.
Use him, but he's not a tool like that, okay?
I am a tool of war.
I'm a
Use him
tool
to
of
throw
cheese
us.
consumption.
Hurt enemies.
But you can also find me on Saturday for our Saved by the Spell campaign. Where, as said before, harrowing field trip. Things are calming down. Who knows what else is gonna happen? I mostly just let them use the rope so that way they make their own hangman's nooses.
Oh, we're so good at that.
Oh, I know, and I'm looking forward to the day you all get an international incident. But that's it for me. And Joe, Kitch.
Mm. Hi. Hi. Hello to YouTube as well. Hello, I see you there. Yeah. Go ahead and I'm just going to drop the voice. I'm annoyed with myself. Hey, go ahead and just go like this video if you liked it. Which I mean, why wouldn't you have liked it? There's so much intrigue and planning to be had. I expect a meeting this week. I assume. Anyway, also, if you could, just go ahead and subscribe to the Farting Tart YouTube channel, and go ahead and ring the bell to be notified whenever he posts a video, because one, they're hilarious, and two, the algorithm says, fuck you! Anyway, who hasn't gone yet? Punkles.
I was in the middle of writing. Ah. Blue Sky, Instagram, sometimes Twitch, at Punkyard Dog. I'm busy. My dad is sick at the moment. We're dealing with family stuff. But I am trying to come back soon. Hopefully, probably middle spring? Maybe late spring. We'll see. Who hasn't gone?
Just me.
Just you, Cartle.
Honorable mention to our dear friend, Wicked River 97, who could not be here tonight, unfortunately, due to a pre-existing engagement. But if you wish to see them in all of their, I almost said horny, but I meant to say glory, so we'll just say horny glory. You can find them
either
at
works.
twitch.tv. I was about to say, I'm not exactly wrong. You can find them at twitch.tv/WickedRiver97. Yeah. And then, of course, there is me. Hello! You have already found me here at twitch.tv/FartingTart. I do D&D, I do variety games. Next stream is going to be Tuesday, where we return back to a familiar setting in the world of Ravnica for Rascals in Ravnica, where our party is... Man, I don't even know where to begin. We had a friend who died, and then we met what is essentially God. And he was like, hey, I'm gonna need y'all to go and do this thing. And then we talked to a person who was like, hey, I heard y'all got told to come and do this thing. And we were like, how'd you fucking know that? So it's a time. There's some sus stuff going on. Sussy bakas, if you will.
So sassy.
Baka.
But then the rest of this week, Wednesday, it's going to be I'm going to be on Bev's channel, where we are going to continue our Pokemon Too Many Types mod playthrough. It is very fun. It is very chaotic. There are a whole bunch. I think it's now 62 Pokemon types, including things like Furry, Magic, and Little Guy. Including there's also one called Ball, which is pretty funny.
I also enjoy Angie, spelled ANGY : left parenthesis.
Nugget. That was literally... My dog's an idiot. Jake just closed his door, and now Nugget's like, oh, there's someone outside! Dumbass.
Probably a joke.
Dumbass idiot. But, then likely no stream Thursday. I need to figure out what's still going on Friday. But on Saturday, you can find me back at Sean's channel again for Shreya Capella, where we are returning after having our week off. And then, of course, on Sunday, episode 158 of War of the Shattered Sun, where our party is going to have a lovely little chat with Mr. Amadeus Valir. Oh, I am very excited for it. Hee hee. Hoo-hoo. But, with that being said, I'm going to send y'all over to Nero because Nero just had a birthday yesterday. So we're going to go into his chat and we're going to call him old.
We'll go into his chat and we'll give him birthday inspiration. And then roll a d20.
Just go in there and just say old and then tart sniff if you have it.
If you get a 1, that just ends his life, and we have a lot of questions to answer, Mizuki.
That'd be especially impressive considering that he is the DM. But everyone go show him some love. Let him know who sent you. Tell him happy birthday. And we will see you all next week for another episode of War of the Shattered Sun. Thank you all so very much. We love you all so very much. And remember, as always, Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. Free Palestine. And you are loved. You are valid. And most importantly, if no one's told you today, you fucking matter. We love you all, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.
See ya.